Before you eat your next chocolate bar, you need to see this. What if I told you that the chocolate you love goes through a process so complex, so intense, that most people have absolutely no idea what really happens behind the scenes? Hidden machines, extreme temperatures, and a transformation that feels almost unreal. Stay with me till the end, because after this, you will never look at chocolate the same way again. Welcome to System Uncovered, where we reveal the hidden processes behind everyday things. If you're curious about how the world really works, you're in the right place. Before we begin, take a second to subscribe, like this video, and comment chocolate below. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these videos coming. Now, let's uncover the system. Everything starts far away from factories, far away from machines, in tropical regions near the equator. This is where cocoa trees grow. These trees need very specific conditions: heat, humidity, and shade. And growing on these trees are cocoa pods. Each pod is about the size of a football, and inside is where the journey of chocolate truly begins. Farmers carefully harvest these pods by hand. No machines, just skill and precision. They use sharp tools to cut the pods open, revealing dozens of cocoa beans inside. But here's something most people don't know. At this stage, these beans don't taste like chocolate at all. In fact, they taste bitter, raw, almost nothing like what you expect. So how do we go from that to the sweet, smooth chocolate we all love? This is where the first hidden process begins. The beans are collected and placed into large containers, or sometimes wrapped in banana leaves. This starts the fermentation process. Over the next several days, natural heat begins to build. Temperatures can rise significantly, and chemical reactions start to happen inside the beans. This is where flavor begins to develop. Without fermentation, chocolate would never taste like chocolate. It's one of the most important, yet most overlooked steps. After fermentation, the beans are spread out under the sun to dry. This can take several days, sometimes over a week. Farmers constantly turn the beans, making sure they dry evenly. This step reduces moisture and locks in the developing flavors. At this point, the beans are finally ready to leave the farm. They're packed into large sacks and shipped across the world, from small farms to massive industrial factories. And this is where everything changes. Inside a modern chocolate factory, machines take over. The dried cocoa beans are first cleaned, removing dust, dirt, and any unwanted materials. Then they're sent into large roasting machines. Roasting is where the magic begins. At high temperatures, the beans start to release their deep, rich aroma. The smell of chocolate fills the air. This process enhances flavor and prepares the beans for the next stage. Once roasted, the outer shells are removed. What's left behind are cocoa nibs. These nibs are the pure essence of chocolate. They are then crushed and ground using powerful machines. As they are ground, something incredible happens. The solid nibs begin to turn into a thick, flowing liquid. This is called chocolate liquor. Despite the name, it contains no alcohol. It's simply pure liquid chocolate. But it's still not the chocolate you eat. Not yet, because now we enter the most important and least understood stage of all, the hidden process. The liquid chocolate is transferred into a special machine called a conch. Inside this machine, the chocolate is continuously mixed, heated, and refined. This process can last for hours, sometimes even days. And during this time, everything changes. The texture becomes smoother, the flavors become richer, bitterness is reduced, and that signature melt-in-your-mouth quality begins to form. This is what separates average chocolate from premium chocolate. This is the step most people never see, the true secret behind chocolate. Once conching is complete, additional ingredients are added: sugar, milk, cocoa butter. Each manufacturer has their own formula. Some keep it a closely guarded secret. The ratios determine everything: taste, texture, quality. This is how we get different types of chocolate: dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, each one created with precision. Next comes tempering. This is one of the most technical steps in the entire process. The chocolate is carefully heated, cooled, and reheated again. This controls how crystals form inside the chocolate, and it's extremely sensitive. Even a small mistake can ruin the entire batch. But when done correctly, it gives chocolate that perfect snap, that glossy finish, and that smooth texture we all recognize. Finally, the chocolate is ready to be shaped. It is poured into molds, different shapes, different sizes, depending on the final product. Then it is cooled until it hardens. Once solid, the chocolate is removed from the molds. Now it looks exactly like the chocolate bars you see in stores. But the process isn't over yet. These bars are then packaged using automated machines, wrapped, sealed, and prepared for shipping. From factories to stores to your hands. A journey that started on a small farm ends as a finished product enjoyed by millions. So, the next time you take a bite of chocolate, think about everything it went through. The farmers, the fermentation, the roasting, the hidden processes inside massive machines. Because it's not just food, it's science, it's engineering, it's a global system working perfectly together. And most people never even realize it. If you made it this far, you've officially uncovered the system. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. This is System Uncovered, and we reveal what others don't. Subscribe to System Uncovered because the world is full of hidden processes. But what happens next is where things get even more intense. Because after the chocolate liquor is formed, it still isn't ready to eat. At this stage, the texture is rough, the taste is strong, and the quality is far from what you expect from a finished chocolate bar. So the factory introduces the next critical step, refining. The liquid chocolate is passed through heavy steel rollers. These rollers crush the particles even further, making them smaller and smoother. We're talking about microscopic levels, because the human tongue can detect even the smallest grain, and if it's not smooth enough, it simply won't feel like chocolate. This step alone can determine whether chocolate feels premium or cheap. Once refining is complete, the chocolate moves forward. But now comes the process that truly defines everything, the conching stage. Inside large conching machines, the chocolate is constantly mixed, stretched, and aerated. This can go on for hours, sometimes even more than 24 hours. Imagine that, chocolate being processed non-stop just to achieve perfection. During this time, excess moisture is removed, unwanted acidic flavors disappear, and what remains is pure richness. This is where chocolate gets its personality, its smoothness, its depth, its signature melt-in-your-mouth experience. Without conching, chocolate would taste flat and feel rough. This is the hidden process that most people never get to see. And honestly, this is what separates average chocolate from world-class chocolate. Now, once this process is complete, the chocolate is still not finished, because now manufacturers start customizing it. They begin adding ingredients: sugar for sweetness, milk powder for creaminess, extra cocoa butter for that silky texture, and sometimes flavors like vanilla. Each brand has its own formula, and these formulas are often kept secret because even a small difference can completely change the taste. This is why no two chocolates taste exactly the same. Now, after everything is mixed perfectly, we move into one of the most delicate stages of all, tempering. This process is all about control. The chocolate is carefully heated, then cooled, and then slightly reheated again. It might sound simple, but it requires extreme precision, because inside the chocolate, crystals are forming, and only one specific type of crystal gives chocolate that perfect finish. If done correctly, you get that satisfying snap when you break a chocolate bar. You get that glossy shine, and you get a smooth texture that melts perfectly in your mouth. But if done wrong, the chocolate can turn dull, soft, or even develop a strange white layer on top. That's how sensitive this step is. Now imagine doing this not in small batches, but in massive industrial quantities.
That's where modern machines come in. Advanced systems control temperature down to exact levels. Every second is monitored. Every change is calculated because consistency is everything. Now finally, the chocolate is ready to take its final shape. It is poured into molds. These molds can be anything: classic chocolate bars, small bite-sized pieces, or even custom designs. The liquid chocolate flows smoothly into each mold, filling every corner perfectly. Then, the molds move along a conveyor system, slowly passing through cooling tunnels. Here, the chocolate begins to harden. It transforms from liquid into solid form. This moment is crucial because this is where everything comes together. Once fully cooled, the chocolate is removed from the molds. And now, for the first time, it looks exactly like what you see in stores. Perfectly shaped, smooth, shiny, ready to eat. But one final step remains: packaging. Machines quickly wrap each chocolate bar, sealing it to protect freshness, adding branding, preparing it for transport. From here, these chocolates are packed into boxes, loaded onto trucks, and shipped across cities, countries, even continents. From a small cocoa farm to a global product, all through a process that most people never even think about. And that's what makes it fascinating, because something so simple on the outside has such a complex story behind it. So the next time you unwrap a chocolate bar, take a moment. Think about the journey. Think about the hidden processes, the machines, the precision, the science behind every single bite. Because now, you don't just eat chocolate, you understand it. And that changes everything. If you've made it this far, you're part of a very small group of people who truly understand how chocolate is made. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment your favorite type of chocolate, and share this with someone who needs to see it. This is System Uncovered, and we reveal what others don't. Stay curious, because there's always more to uncover.
But even after all of this, the story of chocolate still doesn't truly end here. Because once these chocolate bars leave the factory, a completely different journey begins. A journey that most people never think about: distribution. After packaging, these chocolates are sorted, packed into larger boxes, and prepared for shipping. Some go to local stores, some travel across countries, and some cross entire continents, all while maintaining one critical factor: temperature. Chocolate is extremely sensitive. Too much heat and it melts. Too much cold and its texture can be affected. So during transportation, everything is controlled. Special storage, careful handling, precise timing, because one mistake can ruin thousands of bars. And that's something companies simply can't afford. Now, once the chocolate reaches stores, it enters the final stage of its journey, the moment where everything comes together. The moment it reaches you, sitting on a shelf, perfectly wrapped, looking simple, almost ordinary. But now you know the truth. You know what it really took to get there. From a cocoa pod on a tree to a perfectly crafted chocolate bar. A process involving farmers, machines, science, and precision at every step. But here's something even more interesting. Not all chocolate is made the same way. Some factories focus on speed, mass production, large quantities, while others focus on quality, small batches, carefully controlled processes. This is known as artisan chocolate, where every step is given extra attention, every detail matters, and the result is a completely different experience. Richer flavor, smoother texture, more depth. So the next time you pick up chocolate, you might want to ask yourself, is this mass-produced or carefully crafted? Because now you understand the difference, and that knowledge changes how you experience it. But beyond taste, chocolate is also a global industry worth billions of dollars, connecting farmers from tropical regions to advanced factories in developed countries. A system that operates every single day without most people ever noticing. And yet, it delivers something so simple, so enjoyable, something people all over the world love: chocolate. And maybe that's what makes it so fascinating,
Because behind something so common is a system so complex, so detailed, so perfectly designed. And now you've seen it, from start to finish to everything in between. You've uncovered the process, the hidden steps, the unseen work. And the next time you take a bite, it won't just taste sweet, it will feel different. Because now you know the story behind it. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment below what process you want to see next, and share this with someone who loves chocolate. This is System Uncovered, and we reveal what others don't. Stay curious, because there's always more to uncover.